Welcome to a special edition of Catching Up With. Last year, the basketball tournament, a new national tournament featuring several notable former college and even M.B.A. players, debuted and kind of captured the attention of many basketball fans across the country who were hungry to watch some high-quality off-season hoops. The tournament featured several former high-profile players, and some fans seemed to be surprised by the ultimate result, although Notre Dame hoops fans certainly were not. The Fighting Alumni, a team made up of former Notre Dame men's basketball players, came together to win the tournament and the $500,000 prize that came with it. This year, that same team, along with some key new additions, are getting back together to defend their crown. The tournament starts in a few weeks later this month, and we're lucky to have with us today, previewing the tournament, two members of this year's team. We've got Tyrone Nash. How you doing, Tyrone?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for joining us. And Tim Abromaitis.
Thanks for having me.
Tim. Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, as we said, we're going to talk a little bit about the basketball tournament. Tyrone, we're going to start with you. You were on the team last year. You won the tournament MVP. What was it like to be out there last year playing again with some of your former teammates and fellow Notre Dame alums?
It was great. It was awesome just playing with the guys again. I hadn't been back to Notre Dame since maybe like 2012, and it was just great just being back out there playing with the guys and just having fun. It's been a while since we got the chance to hang together, and that tournament allowed us to do that, and also bring back our competitive juices. And winning was just the icing on the cake, and made everything better.
And what was it, do you think, that made your team so potent in the tournament and so successful?
It's just the way, honestly, just the way we play. Like, Coach Brey has instilled a certain type of, style of play in us, and I guess it's carried on even after we graduated, and we still have that knack for playing with each other and knowing where we're going to be on the court. And I think in these type of tournaments, you need a team. It's not about the individual. You need a team. You need great shooters. We have both of that. So this year, I just hope with the new additions, we can just continue that and go for that repeat.
Well, speaking of great shooters and new additions, Tim, you weren't able to play last year. What was it like for you, kind of following the team, a bunch of your former teammates from afar?
Well, it was awesome as I saw they kept winning. I was still in France for the bulk of the tournament, which was, I don't know, at least 4 or 5 games that they had to play in, and I was just following on my phone and on the internet and checking the scores every 15 minutes probably, and kind of cheering them on from France. And it was just incredible to see them come together like that. And then I was able to watch the championship game in person in Boston last year, and I think I was probably more nervous for that game than any of them were. Just so much on the line, and having such good friends out there playing was pretty special for me just to watch even, and couldn't have turned out better for them last year, and hopefully it's the same this year.
Yeah, and then did that experience watching that live, were you determined to join the squad this year?
Yeah, for sure. Me and Luke Herringody were in the crowd there watching, and as it was finishing up and they were winning it, we were saying to each other, man, we need to find a way to get on this team for next year, get in this tournament, just get in on this action because it was so much fun, and we're just glad to be a part of it for sure.
Who are some of the other than yourself, who are some of the other new additions this year that are going to be joining the team?
It'll be me, Eric Atkins, Carlton Scott, and Ben Hansbrough, and Luke Herringody, I think, is the full squad of new additions. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ty, but that's all of us were pretty excited to jump in on it. I think a couple of us were probably begging Kieran Pillar to let us on the team. He's the one organizing it all, also a former player, and we were glad when he invited us all for sure, and it should be fun again.
Absolutely. Ty, you mentioned that one of the big advantages for you guys last year was that you played together before and you were kind of had all played in the same system. It seems like looking at this year's teams, and it's a bigger field this year, a few other schools are kind of trying to copy your success, right?
Yeah.
And so Syracuse and Wisconsin are fielding teams of guys that all played at those programs. Have you guys been looking and identifying some opposing teams that you think could be particularly tough to go up against this year?
I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't checked the rosters, but I've heard rumors of teams, stacking up their players, which I think is great. With the NBA Finals being over and basketball not starting, they have the summer league now, but with no real, I guess, basketball games, it's there's that, I guess that lapse, I guess, and I guess we can somehow fulfill that with this tournament. And with these teams stacking up with these great players and playing against each other, I don't know. I think it's great for fans to see. It's great for your rivalry, your school spirit, and to keep that going throughout the summer is pretty cool, I think. So.
Yeah, I did kind of go through the rosters, and Tim, there are some big names, that I think a lot of basketball fans beyond the Notre Dame guys would recognize. Mike Bibby, former slam dunk champ Nate Robinson. Is there anyone in the field that you'd particularly be excited about playing against?
I don't know. There's obviously a lot of great players. I think the one that's gotten a lot of attention, at least I saw on Twitter the last couple of days, was Brian Scalabrine and his team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess even though there's a lot of big names, I still think I'm pretty confident in our chances. We obviously all played together before. We know each other's games. I think we're going to be pretty scrappy too in terms of just wanting it and going after it. So I'm not really nervous about who we're going to play. Obviously, anybody who's in this tournament is going to be a good player, so we'll have to be ready to go. But I really think we will be ready as well.
Yeah, you mentioned you guys played together for a long time at Notre Dame, had some great years. Were on the team that got a 2 seed in the tournament several years ago. What are kind of, for each of you, what are your fondest memories of your times at Notre Dame, basketball or otherwise?
You want to go first, Tim?
You got it.
Well, obviously, the tournament run and, my senior year, Tim's, I guess senior year too, but it's junior year. But that was a great run. I mean, countless times, not even games, just times we spent in the locker room together, off the court, having, dinners, just chilling at people's house, teammates' house. All that stuff, you looking back now, you really cherish, and that's the stuff I miss, besides going to war with these guys every day, is just hanging out, just the regular day stuff outside of basketball.
How about you?
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Obviously some of the most vivid memories are from the court and big games that we won or big plays that we made. But I'd say the part that I miss most of it is just being around the team and the coaches and everybody that works at Notre Dame with the basketball team. And it was such a special group of guys that we always had. And I think it's just kind of the people that Notre Dame brings in that makes it that way. I don't think too many other colleges have that sort of camaraderie and friendships where they could even get together for doing a tournament like we're doing. So I think that's kind of the fun of this, is just bringing back that team spirit that we always had.
Yeah, and speaking of kind of that Notre Dame spirit and camaraderie, obviously the men's basketball team here at Notre Dame this past season had an incredible year, winning the ACC tournament, making the run to the Elite Eight. I think you guys were both over in Europe playing basketball, but did you follow the team closely, and how exciting was it to watch Coach Brey and some fellow Notre Dame basketball players make that run?
Yeah, well, actually, the game versus Kentucky, I had a game, and I was on the bus coming back home, and I was on the bus on my phone watching it on ESPN Gamecast, and they were winning the whole time, and I made it back to my actual house in time for 2 minutes left in the game, and they started losing, and I felt bad.
It's your fault.
On my phone, and they would have won, but I felt I messed it up, their mojo or whatever. But it was great. Their year was incredible this year. The way Jaron, Pat led the team, and Zach and Demetrius, and all the other guys. It was, they had a great run. Coach Brey did a hell of a job this year, and I can only tip my hat to those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same experience, kind of just being up at 3 or 4 in the morning, whatever it had to be, to watch these games, and I don't know, it was just amazing the way they found ways to win these games where they're down double figures. It seemed like every game they'd come back. They were just such a tough team, but well coached, really talented, and it kind of all came together for them, and it was just fun to watch.
Tim, you've been playing in Europe. Can you kind of fill us in on where you've been playing sort of since you graduated, and what you're planning on, what your plans are for next season?
Sure. I've been playing in Europe for 3 years now. I was in France for my first 2 years, and then Germany for this past season, and just about to sign a deal to go to Spain for this upcoming year. So still doing this basketball thing, and we'll see how far it goes, I guess.
How much more difficult or competitive is international professional play compared to college basketball?
It's definitely different. Lot different style, quicker games, I'd say, a little bit more organized, really physical, especially in France. Ty can speak to that too, I think. But it's really high level, but at the same time, we played in the Big East, and I think that prepared all of us guys that are still playing to play at the highest levels in Europe and wherever guys end up.
Sure. And Ty, how about you? What's your kind of post-Notre Dame career been like?
Yeah, I just finished my 4th year as a pro. My first 3 years were in Germany, in Tübingen, and this past year I spent a year in France, in Rouen. And now I'm weighing options between playing back in Germany or Italy. So I'm thinking about it and talking with people and trying to figure out the best option.
Sure. Have you guys ever faced each other or any former teammates when you've been playing professionally?
My first year out, I played against Ben Hansbrough in Germany. He was on Munich, and I was on Tübingen. We had a great laugh before the game, and he came out victorious. But the second time we beat them, so we're 1-1 against each other.
All right, there you go.
I played against Ryan Ayers one time while he was still playing in France, and then Kyle McIlharney too a couple times. He's been in France for a few years now. I think that's it. I don't know. I mean, me and Ty actually were, when he was in Germany last year and I was in Strasbourg, France. We were about a couple hours away from each other, so we were able to hang out for one weekend while we found free time, and it's nice that all of us have stayed in touch, and if we see each other, we kind of pick it back up like time hasn't really passed. So hopefully that's how it works with this tournament too. We just pick it back up where we were.
Yeah, there you go. And speaking of this tournament, your first game I believe is scheduled for Thursday, July 16th. You have a kind of a, because you're the reigning champs, have a buy into what they're calling the Sweet 17, I think. That Thursday, the game is in Chicago. Can fans come and watch live and cheer you guys on?
Yeah, I think it's July 23rd, right, Tim?
Yeah, I was about to say, I hope it's
I hope it's July 23rd.
You're right.
Yeah, Tim, I think they can come. We would love that. I think we play at DePaul University, and at their on-campus site, right?
That's
Not All-State. Yeah.
So I've been told.
Yeah. So they're more than welcome to come, and I hope they come, supporting us and screaming loud and cheering us on. Sure.
I know. I think Coach Brey is scheduled to that game. First game, I believe, is going to be on ESPNU, and I think Coach Brey is going to be doing the commentary. What is it going to be like for you guys to have your former coach kind of commenting the game and maybe praising you and maybe getting some digs in as well?
I think it's cool. As long as he doesn't say burn, then we're good.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't start joking with us and lets us be serious out there. It'll be fun to have him around. My guess is he won't let himself just sit back and not give us a few pointers or try to help us out in any way he can. But I think probably the coaches and Kieran and whoever's running the show for us this year will have it under control, and hopefully we don't need too much of his help.
Are you guys getting together and practicing at all before the tournament?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're going to meet up in Chicago. We start on Thursday, so I think Tuesday and Wednesday we'll get some practices together. I'm not sure how organized it'll all get, but just to kind of build a little bit of chemistry and re-familiarize ourselves with each other, I guess. We'll spend those couple days together and then kind of hit the ground running on Thursday once the real games start.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we did last year in Philly. We only had 2 days of practice, and you see how that ended. So hopefully we do the same thing and more this year. So.
All right, and yeah, I think if you win that Thursday, the 23rd, you play again Friday and then again Saturday if you win. So obviously, if you said it's at DePaul, that's the neighborhood has tons of former Notre Dame students and tons of Notre Dame fans in the area. So hopefully you get a huge home crowd. And then if you advance to the Final Four, you're in New York, right, for the Final Four?
Yeah.
All right, so hopefully get some Notre Dame fans coming out there too. So I'm going to put you guys on the spot now. Any predictions, Ty? Any predictions for the tournament, either for the team or maybe a follow-up MVP performance for you?
Listen, all I can think about and care about right now was winning that game July 23rd. Then whatever else happens after that, happens. We just got to go out there and play hard. Do what we do, right?
Yeah. Tim, how about you?
Well, I think we're going to go with what worked last year, which was feeding Ty the ball in the post and letting him do his thing. I don't think anybody could really handle him that I saw, at least from the game I watched last year. So hopefully that formula works again this year. And I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I'm pretty confident in our chances and take it game by game and hopefully win it all again.
All right, guys. Well, that sounds great. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us. I know, Notre Dame fans, hoops fans, across the country are going to be cheering you guys on, tuning in online, and maybe folks in Chicago and New York, turning out to cheer you on in person. So good luck with the Fighting Alumni, with the tournament, and with your professional careers moving forward.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thanks to everybody who tuned in to this special edition of Catching Up With. You can Google the basketball tournament for more information and find out how you can follow the Fighting Alumni on their title defense journey here. For more editions of Catching Up With and our complete catalog of online learning events and interviews with interesting Notre Dame alums and administrators, please visit us at my.nd.edu/learn. I'm Kevin Brennan with the Notre Dame Alumni Association. Thanks for watching, and go Irish.